Hey everyone, check this out. We're up to lesson 50. After this, we'll be halfway through the lesson since there are 100 lessons in this set of lessons. So let's do lesson 50. It's once again about two words. It's about the difference between no and хотя. And again, it's pretty straightforward. No simply means but, not in the sense of your body parts, but in the sense of this but not that. So, for example, today it's sunny but cold. The Russian word for that is no. You probably know that by now. What's you might not know, although I think we've seen this in a previous lesson, is the word хотя, which simply means although. So it's like, although today is sunny, it's cold. So they map pretty well. They map pretty well one to one with those English words. So we have but and we have although. And you'd use them in pretty much the same way in Russian that you'd use them in English. So again, that was pretty much the whole lesson. That's really all you need to know. But let's do the lesson and see how the lesson applies these words. So we have here a dialogue between Bill. I don't know. I have a feeling that Bill might not be Russian because I don't think that's a Russian name. And the kassir, the cashier. So Bill is standing at the Kassa Zooparka, the cash register for the zoo park or zoo, and he's speaking with the cashier there. Probably he wants to get into the zoo, and he's discussing his desires to get into the zoo with the cashier. Let's see what they have to say to each other.
Один билет в зоопарк, пожалуйста.
Вы иностранец?
Да.
200 рублей.
Почему так дорого?
Потому что вы иностранный гражданин.
Но я живу в Москве уже 3 года и хорошо говорю по-русски.
Хотя вы и живете здесь давно, вы иностранец.
Но я плачу налоги в вашей стране.
Извините, такие правила.
Хорошо, а если у меня есть студенческий билет?
Это не важно. Хотя, если вы действительно студент, я дам вам льготный билет.
Да, я студент, но у меня нет сейчас студенческого билета.
Тогда с вас 200 рублей.
Как это несправедливо.
This is actually something that gets discussed a lot that gets talked about a lot when people. Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's go ahead and interpret the dialogue, and then I'll discuss it a little bit. So Bill, I correctly guessed that he was not a Russian, just based on his name. Says, come on.
Один билет в зоопарк, пожалуйста.
One ticket to the zoo, please.
Вы иностранец?
You are a foreigner?
Да.
Yes.
200 рублей.
200 рублей, 200 rubles.
Почему так дорого?
Why is it so expensive?
Потому что вы иностранный гражданин.
Because you are a foreign citizen.
Но я живу в Москве уже 3 года и хорошо говорю по-русски.
So the first word he said there was no, which means, again, but. So, but I live in Moscow already 3 years and speak Russian well.
Хотя вы и живете здесь давно, вы иностранец.
Okay, and she started off there by saying хотя. So she says, although you live here a long time, you are a foreigner. So although you've lived here a long time, you are still a foreign citizen.
Но я плачу налоги в вашей стране.
But I pay taxes to your country.
Извините, такие правила.
Sorry, those are the rules.
Хорошо, а если у меня есть студенческий билет?
Okay, and what if I have a student ticket, or I guess a student card?
Это не важно.
That's not important.
Хотя, если вы действительно студент, я дам вам льготный билет.
Although, so here we have хотя, although if you are a student, I will give you a discounted ticket because students get cheaper tickets.
Да, я студент, но у меня нет сейчас студенческого билета.
Yes, I am a student. No, but I don't have right now my student card.
Тогда с вас 200 рублей.
Then for you, 200 rubles.
Как это несправедливо?
How unfair, how unfair is that? This is actually something that struck me when I first went to Russia. I went to the Hermitage, that wonderful art gallery in St. Petersburg, in the Winter Palace there. Um, they have like a huge list out front of the admission prices, and yes, at most Russian museums, foreign citizens pay a higher entrance fee than Russian citizens. Now, they don't usually check your passport. They do not ask for your passport, and so they can't prove whether you're a foreigner or not. Usually, they just go based on whether people speak Russian, because most foreigners don't speak Russian. If you speak very good Russian, good enough to pass for a local, you might be able to get the discounted ticket for Russian citizens. But in general, most people don't speak good enough Russian. That's why she says she noticed right away from his accent that he was a foreigner, and she said, "What, are you a foreigner?" So, um, it is kind of controversial that foreigners pay more money for admission to museums and art galleries and things like that than Russians. That is a controversial thing. And what I thought was really amazing was on the sign, it's not just two prices. It's not just foreigners and Russians. There are discounts for students, there are discounts for seniors, there are discounts for children, which is usual, but then there are discounts for things like if you are a decorated war hero, if you are a hero of the Soviet Union, you get a discount for that. So it's like there are all these discounts that you can get based on service to the country, based on being a war veteran, or a Soviet hero, a hero of communism. It's kind of funny, and all the prices are listed there at the front when you go in. It's the ways that they've calculated prices for different social and economic classes of people is quite fascinating when you consider that in most American museums, there are basically two prices. There's the adult price and the children's price. That's it. That's all you get. So it's kind of funny, but yeah, that's a real thing that you'll see in Russia. If you've not seen it yet, you'll see that a lot at Russian places like that. Anyway, sorry, I got a bit sidetracked there, but that is a funny thing. Okay, so let's see. Something вы студент, я не дам вам льготный билет, потому что вы иностранец. Okay, so I think this is хотя. Although you are a student, I cannot give you or I will not give you a cheaper ticket because you are a foreigner. So, вы студент, you are a student, something, вы иностранец, поэтому билет стоит 200 рублей. So you are a student, no, but you are a foreigner, and therefore the ticket for you is 200 rubles. У нас есть льготные билеты, something только для русских студентов. Okay. So you have a cheaper ticket, but only for Russian students. So it's no. Something он платит налоги в России, кассир не хочет продавать ему дешевый билет. So that would be хотя. Although he, I guess for a long time lived in Russia. Hold on, let me just get a quick translation of that because platit is pays, isn't it? He pays something and then... Oh, right, налоги. Yeah, we saw that in the dialogue. I forgot already. Налоги is taxes. So although he pays taxes in Russia, the cashier does not want to sell him a cheap ticket. So, хотя, although he pays taxes. And finally, something on учиться в России уже давно, он забыл студенческий билет. I guess this is again, although, right? Yeah, хотя. So although he studies in Russia already for a long time, he forgot his student card. And who knows if he actually is a student, but yeah, in any case, if he doesn't have a student card, then no student discount for him. So there you go. All right, look who it is. We have once again Polina and Timur, the people we saw in the previous lesson. Timur is the flu-afflicted gentleman here in bed on the telephone with a thermometer in his mouth. And Polina is once again his conversation partner on the telephone. Let's see what they have to say this time.
Привет. Как ты себя чувствуешь?
Ничего, хотя еще есть слабость.
Но ты уже месяц болеешь. Это ненормально.
Знаю, но доктор говорит, что мне еще неделю надо отдохнуть. Я уже поговорил с начальником, он все понимает, хотя очень недоволен.
Но он тебя не может уволить?
Нет, конечно, хотя я тоже переживал по этому поводу.
Ладно, будем ждать тебя через неделю, но не позднее.
До встречи.
Okay. Fairly short dialogue, only 9 lines. Well, 10 if you count. This is, but I mean, 9. It's kind of 9 lines, 9 or 10.
Привет. Как ты себя чувствуешь?
Hi. So once again, she says, hi. How do you feel? How you feel yourself?
Ничего, хотя еще есть слабость.
Okay, so he said, хотя. So nothing. I feel nothing. I guess by nothing he means no big deal, like it's okay. But he says, nothing, although there still is weakness.
Но ты уже месяц болеешь. Это ненормально.
Okay, and she said, no. Ты уже месяц болеешь, but you already were sick for a month or have been sick for a month. That's not normal.
Знаю, но доктор говорит, что мне еще неделю надо отдохнуть.
Okay, so he said знаю, and then he said no. The more proper way to say this is я знаю, I know, but he just says знаю, meaning I know. So I know, but the doctor said that I still need to rest for a week. I still need to rest for 1 week.
Я уже поговорил с начальником, он все понимает, хотя очень недоволен.
Okay, so the word he said there was хотя. I will go ahead and fill in the blank. So I already said, or I already talked to the boss, to the начальник, and he understood everything, although he is very недоволен, although he's very dissatisfied about the situation.
Но он тебя не может уволить?
Но он тебя не может уволить, but he cannot fire you?
Нет, конечно, хотя я тоже переживал по этому поводу.
Okay, so the word he said there was хотя. No, of course not. Although I also worried about this subject.
Ладно, будем ждать тебя через неделю, но не позднее.
До встречи.
Okay, we will wait for you for another week. Но не позднее, but not longer than that. До встречи, until we meet again. Until we meet again. The day is mine. Okay, so a short test about the dialogue that we had. Он понимает мою ситуацию. He understood my situation. Something и очень недоволен. So he understood my situation and very dissatisfied. Well, that could be either one. It could be, you could say he understood my situation, but he's very dissatisfied. You could say he understood my situation, although he's very dissatisfied. That could go either way. Let's see. What are they looking for here? I think here they want хотя. Yeah, so although he's very dissatisfied. Okay. Я все понимаю. Something ничего не могу сделать. I understand everything, but can't do anything. I guess that's the... Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, so it's no. No, ничего не могу сделать, but I can't do anything. Okay, something доктор говорит, что мне надо отдохнуть, я так не думаю. So I guess it's probably хотя. Although the doctor says that I need to rest, I don't think so. I don't think that way. So the answer here is хотя, although the doctor says. I wonder why they're using the word doktor here for doctor, because the usual Russian word for a physician is a врач, but I guess you can say doktor as well. So although the doctor says. Мы будем ждать тебя через неделю, но не позднее. We'll wait for you a week, but not longer. And finally, this is probably хотя, yes it is. Хотя мы ждали его весь вечер, он не пришел и даже не позвонил. Although we waited for him the entire evening, he did not show up and didn't even call. So, like call on the telephone. So, all right. Again, I don't think that has anything to do with the dialogue we just heard. That's just a different story going on there in a parallel universe. So yeah, I think the difference between no and хотя is clear, but here we have a few sentences. It's really just a matter of phrasing. It's just the sentence structure, right? But let's see. Ты очень хороший, но я не люблю тебя. Well, that's harsh. You are very good, but I don't love you. So she's leaving for that reason. He's sad. That's harsh. Заяц маленький, но быстрый. The rabbit is small but fast, or I guess it's a hare is small but fast. Было уже поздно, но Петр еще не спал. It was already late, but Peter Piotr still did not sleep. And then хотя наши соперники были сильнее, мы подели. So although I think this means although our opponents were strong, we won. We were the victors. Хотя Мария заболела, она пошла в университет. Although Maria was sick, she went to university. And finally, хотя компьютер был новый, он сломался очень быстро. Although the computer was new, it broke very fast and caught fire in like 3 or 4 different places, as computers so often do. Okay, so the difference between no and хотя. So, yeah, in the Russian language, the conjunction no is used to show direct opposition. Хотя is used to show there's some opposition between action and its necessary condition. Yeah, I don't know if that's very useful, to be honest. I think that this is one of those things that you just kind of develop by feel, because in English, you instinctively know when to say but, and you instinctively know when to say although. So you can use that same instinct to understand the difference between no and хотя. But that's just my opinion. Perhaps I'm wrong. Although that is my opinion, it is possible that I'm wrong. Okay. So here we have, again, a list of 10 sentences where we need to fill in the blanks. And once again, it's very clear that the smaller ones take no and the larger ones take хотя. But again, let's try to do this legitimately without cheating by just looking at the length of the word boxes. So, something студент знал грамматику, он говорил с ошибками. So, the student knew grammar, he spoke with mistakes. So that would be хотя. I'll make that a capital although I don't know that it matters. Хотя студент знал грамматику, он говорил с ошибками. Although the student knew grammar, he spoke with mistakes. Мороз был очень сильный, something мы не замерзли. So moroz is frost, like in Ded Moroz, which is like Grandpa Frost, which is the Russian version of Santa Claus, basically. Мороз был очень сильный. The frost was very strong. Но мы не замерзли. But we did not freeze. Something цены выросли, so цены, prices, выросли, went up. Мы купили новую машину. So that's once again хотя. You can kind of see, just as in English, хотя tends to go at the beginning. So it's like, yeah, although this is true, still, despite that, there's something else. Whereas no, just like but in English, tends to go in the middle. Yeah, there's this, but there's that. So yeah, it looks like all these with blanks at the beginning are хотя, and then most of the ones with blanks in the middle are no, which mirrors English usage. So, something у него есть диплом This is not MVA, it's MBA. He has an MBA diploma. Он сейчас без работы. So, хотя у него есть диплом MBA, он сейчас без работы. Is there no equivalent of an MBA in Russian? They just use the English term and abbreviation? I guess so. Okay, although he has an MBA diploma, now he is without work. He's unemployed. У Митина нет никакого образования, something ему все равно. So, Mitin, I believe, is a person's name. This is not a common. It's not a common Russian name as far as I know. I don't think I've ever seen anyone named Mitin, but this is saying Mitin does not have an education. No ему все равно. But it doesn't matter to him. He doesn't care. So, something Маша и любила вкусно поесть, она не очень хорошо готовила. So, Masha likes to eat tasty food, but she didn't cook very well. So although Masha likes to eat tasty food, she didn't cook very well. Я очень люблю смотреть бейсбол. Something ничего не понимаю в этой игре. So, this could really be either one. Just as in English, you could say, I really like watching baseball, although I don't understand it. Or you could say, I really like watching baseball, but I don't understand it. Either one is possible. In my opinion, both хотя and no are possible here. But again, based on the length of that word box, I'm going to assume that that's intended for хотя. So, I really like watching baseball, although I do not understand anything from this game. Fair enough, you don't have to understand it to enjoy the spectacle. Роберт прекрасно говорит по-французски и по-испански. Something не может выучить итальянский язык. So Robert beautifully speaks French and Spanish. No, but cannot learn Italian language. Говорят, что черная икра очень вкусная. Something мне она не нравится. So, говорят is like the third person plural. So it's like people say. People say, or it is said, that black caviar, ikra is caviar, that black caviar, which is a big thing in Russia, is very tasty. Но мне она не нравится. But she does not please me. But I don't like her, caviar being female. And something я не играю на бирже, я смотрю деловые новости каждый день. So, I do not play на бирже, the stock market. Я смотрю деловые новости каждый день. I still watch the financial news every day. So, although I don't play the stock market, I watch the financial news every day. There we go. And the final exercise here, again, it's just, do we put in no or do we put in хотя? So, Швейцария маленькая страна. Это богатая страна. So, Switzerland is a small country. It is a rich country. So, Швейцария маленькая, но богатая страна. Switzerland is small but rich country. Это дорогая ваза. It is an expensive vase. Она не очень красивая. She is not very beautiful, or it's not very beautiful. So, это дорогая, но не очень красивая ваза. It's an expensive but not very beautiful vase. Моя подруга живет сейчас в Канаде. Мы каждый день созваниваемся друг с другом. So, my friend, my female friend, lives now in Canada. We every day talk to each other. or talk on the telephone with each other. So this is now a хотя. Хотя моя подруга живет сейчас в Канаде, мы каждый день созваниваемся друг с другом. So, although my friend lives now in Canada, we every day telephone with one with another, or with each other. Вы живете в этом районе уже 5 лет. You already live in this area 5 years. Вы не знаете, где здесь поликлиника. You don't know where there is a polyclinic here. It's like not a hospital, but a medical clinic that handles many different types of medical conditions. So, here now we have two sentences. They reform it so that you can use но or you can use хотя. So, вы живете в этом районе уже 5 лет. You already live in this area 5 years. Но не знаете, but don't know, где здесь поликлиника, where there's a polyclinic. And then you can say хотя вы живете в этом районе уже 5 лет, although you live in this region already 5 years, вы не знаете, где здесь поликлиника. You don't know where there's a polyclinic. So you can see, for most of these sentences, you could use no or хотя. It's just a matter of slightly restructuring the sentence. Again, just as in English, it's the same. Although you've lived here for a long time, you don't know where a clinic is. You've lived here a long time, but don't know where a clinic is. It's really, it's just the placement of the words. It's really almost the same sentence, just slight restructuring. Он учился в 3 институтах, ни один из них он так и не закончил. So, he studied in 3 institutes. Not one of them he finished his, he finished, so he did not finish in one of them. So, хотя он учился в 3 институтах, although he studied in 3 institutes, ни один из них он так и не закончил. Not one of them he finished. And then, of course, you have но. Он учился в 3 институтах, he studied in 3 institutes, но ни один, but in not one of them he finished. Okay, moving on. Я не люблю жить в городе. I don't like living in the city. Я живу в городе. I live in the city. Я не люблю жить в городе. I don't like living in the city. Но живу в нем. But I live in him, in the city, because город is masculine. Я хочу поехать на море. I want to go to the sea, to the ocean. Сейчас у меня нет денег. Now I do not have money. Я хочу поехать на море, но сейчас у меня нет денег. I want to go to the ocean, but now I don't have money. Они смотрели этот фильм вчера. They watched this film yesterday. Они уже ничего не помнят. Already they don't remember anything. So like they already forgot everything. So, хотя они смотрели этот фильм вчера, они уже ничего не помнят. Although they watched this film yesterday, they already don't remember anything. Они смотрели этот фильм вчера, they watched this film yesterday, но уже ничего не помнят, but already don't remember anything. Я купил новый телефон. I bought a new telephone. Сейчас я пользуюсь старым телефоном. Now I use an old telephone? Okay. I bought a new telephone, but now I use an old telephone. So, хотя я купил новый телефон, сейчас я пользуюсь старым телефоном. Although I bought a new telephone, now I use an old telephone. Doesn't say why, but that's what it says. And finally, Марго видела Виктора только на фото. So Margot saw Victor only in a photo. Она уже влюбилась в него. She already fell in love with him. So, хотя Марго видела Виктора только на фото, она уже влюбилась в него. Although Margot only saw Victor in a photo, she already fell in love with him. And finally, Margot видела Виктора только на фото. Margot saw Victor only in a photo. Но она уже влюбилась в него. But she already fell in love with him. And with that, my friends, lesson 50 is complete. So, once again, I think it's a pretty straightforward lesson. Yeah, I mean, I think there were no great surprises here. I think everything is pretty much, yeah, I mean, I've said it several times over the past few lessons, but these last few lessons that we've had have been pretty easy for the most part. Like they really haven't been too challenging. And I don't mean to complain. I mean it doesn't have to always be super hard. Like I said, before we had some lessons which were really tough as nails. So it's nice to have a little bit of lighter stuff. But now that we're halfway through the lessons, you might kind of wonder what's up ahead. And I don't want to get onto a huge long discussion about what's coming up, but um, we're kind of getting into more advanced territory here. I mean, we finished half of the set of lessons, and some of you may be thinking, at what level is this now? I mean, there's that language framework, the Common European Language Framework, which has 6 levels of language ability. There's A1, A2, B1, B2, and C1, C2. And those of you who are interested in seriously learning Russian or taking maybe a Russian language exam probably naturally wonder, what level are we at now? Is this still A1, or are we past A1 now? Or are we past A2? Or are we into the B stuff already? Is this like B1, B2? Well, it's hard to say. There's no direct correlation between a particular subject and a particular level. Personally, myself being somebody who has learned a couple of languages within the European language framework, I would say we're probably, at the very least, I'd say we're way past A1 territory by now. If you've followed all the lessons up to this point, I think we should be way past A1 territory. This is at least A2 that we're at now. Might be getting kind of into B1 stuff. So I don't know. I I would not expect this set of lessons, even if we go all the way up to lesson 100, I would not expect this course to bring us all the way to C2. That's really not the purpose of a course like this. A language course like this rarely can take you beyond, maybe the B levels. So, at the end, if you're a B1 at the end, that's not bad. B2 is kind of ambitious. I don't think you should imagine that you're shooting for the C levels like C1 or C2 here. That's just not what, online courses like this can't really do that. You have to do stuff on your own. You have to practice the language in everyday life to really be a C level. You can't just get to a C level by taking some online courses like this. So don't expect that you're going to be C2 by lesson 100. But I think it's reasonable that if you've really been following along here, like if you've really been following the material, and again, you can't just rely on, I think I talked about this before, you can't just rely on a course like this to learn the language. You have to really practice the language. If you really want to be fluent in the language, you have to practice it and use it pretty much every day, maybe not necessarily every single day, but close to every day. You have to be reading constantly in the language. You have to be listening constantly in the language. You have to be ideally writing and speaking constantly in the language. And I know that's difficult if you're not in a place where Russian is actively spoken, which is why it's difficult. It's really difficult to get beyond B levels if you don't live in a country where the language is spoken, because that means you can't use the language every day. So now's a good time. If you've actually gotten this far, now's a good time to think about why you're learning the language, how serious you are about it. Do you really want to go on with it? Because if you go on, I mean, I'm hopefully going to finish the next 50 lessons and get all the way to lesson 100, hopefully, but I can't guarantee it. And even if I do, if you're just, learning Russian by following these videos, that's not enough. That's not going to take you to like fluency in Russian. That's not adequate to make you a master Russian speaker. You're not going to be the next Pushkin or Dostoevsky or Tolstoy with that, or Chekhov or whatever. So these past few lessons, like I said, have been pretty easy. And you might be thinking, what's going on? Why are lessons so easy now? I think this is just kind of like a quiet spell, because if we look at what's coming up in the next lessons, comparing objects and their qualities, okay, that's not too difficult, but now we're starting to get into the moods of Russian verbs. So like, okay, there's imperative stuff. Okay, imperative stuff is pretty, yeah, okay, it's, you know, it's one, like it's relatively basic. I mean, I don't want to say basic, but right. And then we start getting into active and passive voice. This is definitely, I think, getting into more advanced stuff. If you start, if you start really learning about how to do the passive voice and getting really good with passive voice, I would say that's past A2. That's getting into like B1 territory. So we're at the point now where we're leaving basic Russian grammar behind and getting into at least intermediate Russian. Advanced Russian is not simple. Like advanced Russian is still, something that you probably shouldn't be thinking about now. But intermediate, we're definitely getting into at least intermediate Russian territory, leaving elementary basic Russian behind. So, the Russian that you've covered to this point is probably enough to go on vacation in Russia and ask people, the basic tourist questions like, where's the bathroom? Can I please have a sandwich? Where can I get a taxi to my hotel or something like that? I mean, that's, basic tourist stuff. That's like what the A1, A2 levels are for. We're definitely getting beyond that now. And so now's really a good time, now that we're at the halfway point, to start thinking about why you're learning Russian. Do you want to really carry on with this? Because it's only going to get harder. And if you want to be fluent in Russian, like if you're really serious about learning Russian, then learning is rewarding. It's very rewarding to be able to speak it at a really advanced level and be able to really communicate with people, not just saying, where's the bathroom? Can I have, can I buy a loaf of bread, please? But like really having more serious conversations. It's very rewarding to be able to travel to a foreign country and converse in a foreign language that way. If that's what you want, it's definitely, a nice experience to have, and it's something interesting to study if you are interested in it. But this is not simple stuff anymore. This is not basic Russian. We are getting into more serious territory, and I think it's just gonna get harder. I mean, here we have, like active past particles and used in formal styles of speech. Now we're learning the difference between, informal and more formal styles of speech, which you wouldn't necessarily use in everyday conversations on the street with your friends. So we're not far away from fairly proficient levels of Russian usage. And I can't stress enough, you need to be using more than just these courses. This course here on this website that I've been making videos of, it's a great resource. It's not a bad set of courses, but you can't reach fluency in a language on stuff like this alone. You need to really be actively applying the language. Again, actively listening to it, actively reading it in books and magazines, stuff like that, listening to Russian newscasts or television or movies when you can, and ideally, finding people on the internet whom you can speak to. There are services where you can meet native speakers and practice talking to them, and, writing to people, because writing is important as well. So you need to be doing stuff like that at this point. You can't just be using the lessons anymore. Anyway, sorry, I got off on a bit of a rant there, but I mean, like I said, we're at the halfway point now. We finished with lesson 50, so this is a good point to sort of look back at where we were, but also look forward to what's coming and kind of think about where we are, where we want to go. And by we, I mean you. I mean you personally. If you personally are learning the language, you need to think about where you want to go, what you want to do with the language, where you want to take your language learning journey. Why are you learning the language? What is your goal? And how can you help yourself reach that goal? So give it some thinking. I think it's worth having a plan and a goal in mind. And and if all goes well, I'll see you soon for lesson 51 and so on. We'll continue. Like I said, I hope that I'll continue making these videos. I don't know. I don't know that I will. I can't guarantee that I will continue making the videos, but I want to. So hopefully I will. So I hope that I'll see you folks in a future video. Thanks for watching, everyone, and bye for now. Good luck to all of you.